Success doesn't have an age limit, it has a discipline limit. Every day you either build yourself or you slowly break down. Life is not a race of years but a test of effort. And that test renews every sunrise. The truth is the calendar may turn, but it's your choices that make the real difference. You can be 20 or 60. If you wake up with a plan to grow, you're still in the game. Too many people stop building because they think they've run out of time. But success isn't measured by how early you started. It's measured by how long you stayed consistent. Each day you choose to learn, to push, to improve, you're proving that age is just a number. And growth is a decision. Life doesn't reward the fastest, it rewards the most faithful. No one can hand you success. You have to shape it with your own hands one day at a time. The body may age, but the spirit only grows stronger when you keep working on yourself. So whether you're beginning again or just beginning, remember this. It's never too late to start becoming everything you could be. Stay with me for the next few minutes as I show you why success has no age and how to build yourself every single day. Let's dive in. Number 1. Stop counting years. Start counting effort. Age doesn't decide your success. Effort does. Every year that passes doesn't make you weaker. It gives you another chance to get stronger, smarter, and more focused. But too many people waste that chance by staring at the clock instead of moving their hands. They talk about how much time they've lost, how long it's been since they started, or how late they think they are. Let me tell you something, it's never the time that stops you. It's the thinking that does. You don't lose because you're too old. You lose because you stop trying. The truth is, effort rewrites the story that age tries to tell. Every push, every step, every small improvement you make keeps you in the race. Not against others, but against your own potential. Success doesn't care if you're 18 or 80. It only cares whether you're still willing to give your best today. When you count years, you look backward. When you count effort, you look forward. The difference is direction. You can't change what's behind you, but you can always choose how hard you work today. And here's the secret. Consistent effort compounds. A single day of work may not show results, but 365 days of quiet effort turns you into someone unrecognizable. That's how growth works. Slow, silent, and certain. Think about it. Every legend, every achiever, every person who made their mark didn't get there by keeping score of birthdays. They got there by keeping score of their habits, their hours, their persistence. The people who change their lives are not the ones who wait for the right time. They're the ones who start making time right now. The truth is, time itself is neutral. It doesn't care if you waste it or use it. It simply moves. What gives time power is your effort. A single year of focused effort can do more for your life than 10 years of wishful thinking. So stop saying it's too late. Stop thinking I should have started earlier. You're here now and that's all you need. You can't go back and make a brand new beginning. But you can start today and make a brand new ending. The difference lies in what you do next. Every effort you make plants a seed for tomorrow. Every action you take builds a piece of the foundation for the life you're creating. So from this moment on, stop counting how many years have gone by. Start counting how many times you showed up, how many mornings you refused to quit, how many nights you pushed through, how many times you gave just one more hour when everyone else gave up. Because in the end, success is not measured in years lived, it's measured in effort given. And if you can give your best today, then my friend, your best years aren't behind you. They're just getting started. Number 2, rewrite your story before it's written for you. Every day you wake up, your story continues. But the question is, who's holding the pen? You see, too many people let their past write their future. They live in old chapters that no longer serve them. They repeat the same lines, the same mistakes, the same excuses, and then wonder why the story never changes. But here's the truth. You can't start a new life if you keep rereading the last page. Your story isn't over unless you stop writing. You might have made mistakes, failed, or even lost everything once. But that's not where your story has to end. The power of being alive today is that you get another chance to write something different. The pen is still in your hand, even if life tried to take it from you. It doesn't matter who doubted you, who left, or how many times you fell short. What matters is whether you'll rise today and take control of your own narrative. Life will keep handing you chapters, some filled with joy, others filled with pain. But it's up to you what lesson you pull from each page. You can choose to stay bitter, or you can choose to get better. You can let failure define you, or you can let it refine you. Too often people let the world decide their worth. They listen to the noise. Teachers who said they wouldn't make it. Friends who stopped believing in them. A job that made them feel small. But those voices don't define your value. They only echo your past. You define your future with what you do next. If you don't take charge of your own story, someone else will. The world loves to label too old, too late, too inexperienced. But those are just opinions, not destinies. Your real story begins the moment you stop accepting those labels and start writing your truth with discipline, courage, and consistency. You can reinvent yourself at any time. You can decide that the person who wakes up tomorrow will be wiser, calmer, stronger, and more focused. You can tear out the chapters filled with self-doubt and start a new section filled with purpose and power. That's the beauty of life. You're not stuck. You're evolving. Maybe you spent years chasing the wrong dream. Or maybe you let fear control you. That's fine. It's part of your story. But don't stay there. Rewrite it. Turn failure into education. Turn rejection into redirection. Turn your old habits into fuel for new growth. Every hardship you face can become a tool if you choose to use it. Remember, no great book is made of perfect chapters. Every masterpiece has conflict, pain, and redemption. What makes it powerful is the ending, and that's still yours to write. So stop living in the old version of yourself. You're not that person anymore. You've learned, you've grown, you've survived. Pick up the pen, write a story worth remembering. One filled with courage, not fear. Action, not excuses. Because if you don't rewrite your story, life will keep writing it for you. And it won't be the story you wanted. It'll be the one you allowed. Take the pen back. Start today. The next chapter belongs to you. Number 3. Win the day with small steps. Big dreams are beautiful, but they can also be dangerous if you forget that they're built one small step at a time. Everyone wants to change their life overnight, but real success doesn't work like that. You don't wake up successful. You build success brick by brick, day after day. The people who go the farthest are not the ones who make giant leaps once in a while. They're the ones who take steady, deliberate steps every single day, even when no one's watching. The truth is, small progress adds up faster than you think. The problem is, most people give up before the results show. They start strong for a week, then stop because they don't see instant change. But the great ones understand something different. They know that the habit is more important than the result in the beginning. If you keep doing the right things long enough, results have no choice but to show up. Let's be honest, it's not hard to be motivated for one day. The real challenge is being consistent. On the days when nothing seems to work, when progress feels invisible, and when you're tired of trying. But that's when growth is happening. Every small action you take in silence builds strength, discipline, and self-trust. When you keep showing up for yourself, you're telling your future that you're serious. You don't need to climb the entire mountain today. You just need to take one more step upward. That's how success is built. Not in a rush, but in rhythm. Think of a sculptor carving a statue. It doesn't happen in one swing. It's thousands of small, careful strikes that eventually reveal something extraordinary. Your daily habits are those strikes. Every workout, every study session, every focused hour is shaping the masterpiece of your life. Too many people underestimate what small consistency can do. 5 pages a day becomes 5 books a year. 10 push-ups a day becomes a strong body in 6 months. 1 hour of focused work a day becomes a new career over time. But the mind always wants to skip the process and jump straight to the reward. That's why so many never see results. They quit before the compound effect kicks in. You have to fall in love with the process more than the outcome. Success is not about one big day. It's about winning small days again and again. And winning the day doesn't mean being perfect. It means doing just one thing that pushes you closer to your goal. One small promise kept, one bad habit resisted, one new lesson learned. That's enough to move you forward. If you can win today and then win tomorrow, you'll look back one day and realize you've built something powerful. A life of progress, not perfection. You'll realize that every small effort mattered. The quiet mornings, the lonely nights, the boring routines, they were all laying the groundwork for something bigger than you imagined. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. Start now. Take the small step. Do it again tomorrow and keep doing it until you no longer need motivation, because by then momentum will take over. That's how you win the day. And when you win enough days, you win your life. Number 4, turn experience into an advantage. Experience is life's greatest teacher, but only if you choose to learn from it. You see, not everyone who lives long grows wise. Some people just repeat the same year over and over again, calling it experience. True experience isn't just about the number of years you've lived. It's about the lessons you've pulled from them. Every challenge, every failure, every hard season you've survived has been preparing you for something bigger. But that preparation means nothing if you don't use it. Too often people envy the young, their energy, their speed, their fresh ideas. But what they forget is that wisdom is the one thing time gives you that youth can't buy. You've been through storms. You've seen patterns. You've learned how to get back up. That's your advantage. Age isn't your enemy. It's your power. If you use it with intention, you've already paid the price for your experience through your mistakes, your sacrifices, your late nights, your lessons. Don't let that investment go to waste. Use it. Let it guide your decisions, sharpen your judgment, and keep you from repeating the same errors twice. Experience gives you clarity, and clarity saves time. It teaches you what matters and what doesn't. That's how you move faster now. Not by running harder, but by choosing smarter. The truth is, life's lessons don't arrive in comfort. They arrive through pain, through disappointment, through moments that tested your patience and faith. But that pain carved understanding. It gave you depth. It gave you perspective. You see things now that you couldn't have seen before. That's the beauty of experience. It doesn't make you bitter unless you let it. It makes you better if you choose to learn. Think about the most successful people you know. They didn't get there because everything went right. They got there because when things went wrong, they learned. They took the lesson, not the loss. And that's the key difference. When you start treating your experiences as teachers instead of burdens, your entire life changes. Suddenly, you're not behind. You're prepared. Experience also gives you something powerful: patience. You stop rushing the process because you understand that timing matters. You've seen enough to know that good things take time and that anything built too quickly usually falls apart just as fast. That patience allows you to move with confidence instead of desperation. So instead of wishing you were younger or had started earlier, start appreciating what you know now. You've been trained by reality. You've seen what shortcuts cost. You've discovered what truly fulfills you. That awareness makes you unstoppable because you're no longer chasing illusions. You're focused on what's real. And remember this: every season of your life has value. Youth gives you energy. Age gives you direction. Combine the two and you become unstoppable. You may not have the same strength you once did, but now you have strategy. You may not move as fast, but you move with precision. And in the end, that wins. So take your experience and wear it like armor. Let it protect you, guide you, and strengthen you. Because when you use what life has already taught you, every new challenge becomes easier to face. You're not starting from zero. You're starting from wisdom. And that, my friend, is an advantage that never fades. Number 5, trade regret for responsibility. Regret is a heavy thing to carry. It sits quietly in the back of your mind, reminding you of everything you didn't do, the chances you didn't take, the time you wasted, the people you lost. And the more you feed it, the heavier it grows. But here's the truth. Regret only has power over you if you keep looking backward. The moment you turn around and face forward, regret starts to fade. Because regret can't survive in a mind that's busy taking responsibility. Every person on this planet has a list of I should have. You should have started earlier. You should have tried harder. You should have made that call, taken that step, believed in yourself sooner. But what's done is done. You can't rewrite yesterday, but you can shape tomorrow. Responsibility means saying, yes, I made mistakes, but I'm the one who's going to fix them. That's power, that's maturity, that's how you grow. Regret keeps you stuck in guilt. Responsibility moves you toward growth. One is emotional, the other is practical. When you take responsibility, you stop blaming the world, your parents, your circumstances, or your past. You start asking different questions. Not why did this happen to me, but what can I do about it now? That question alone can change your life. The truth is, regret is wasted energy. You can't go back and get those lost years, but you can stop losing more. You can learn the lesson, make the adjustment, and move forward with new focus. Responsibility doesn't erase your mistakes, it redeems them. It turns failure into a stepping stone instead of a lifelong scar. Let me tell you something important. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you're blaming yourself for everything that went wrong. It means you're accepting that the solution is in your hands now. The moment you do that, you get your power back. You stop waiting for someone else to change your life and start doing it yourself. Think about it. Every successful person you've ever heard of has failed. But what separates them from the rest is that they didn't sit around regretting it. They took ownership, made the corrections, and tried again. Responsibility gives you direction. Regret only gives you noise. And here's the irony. When you take responsibility, you start to feel lighter, not heavier, because you're no longer chained to the past. You're anchored in the present. You're no longer waiting for a break. You're creating one. Every step forward becomes an act of redemption. Not to erase your past, but to build a better version of yourself because of it. So, if you're holding on to regret right now, ask yourself this. How much longer are you going to let the past control your present? Every minute you spend looking back is one more minute you could have spent building something better. You can't change the beginning of your story, but you can rewrite the ending. You can make your future so strong that your past looks small in comparison. That's the gift of responsibility. It transforms pain into power and guilt into growth. So let go of the what ifs. Take ownership of the what's next. Regret is heavy, but responsibility sets you free. And when you take full responsibility for your life, your choices, your habits, your results, that's the moment you step into real freedom. Number 6, keep learning faster than you age. The moment you stop learning, you stop growing. It doesn't matter how many candles are on your birthday cake. The real measure of youth is your curiosity. The people who stay sharp, energetic, and full of life are not the ones who try to act young. They're the ones who never stop learning something new. Because when your mind is active, your spirit stays alive. Life changes fast. The world you lived in 10 years ago doesn't exist anymore. Technology shifts, opportunities shift, people shift. If you're not learning, you're falling behind. But the good news is learning has no age limit. You can start a new skill at 40, launch a business at 60, or learn a new language at 70. The only limit is the one you place on your curiosity. Every new thing you learn adds a layer to your confidence. It reminds you that you're still capable, still growing, still alive in the game. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking your best days are behind you. But that's only true if you stop feeding your mind. The more you learn, the more life gives back to you in opportunities, ideas, and possibilities. The world rewards learners. It doesn't matter where you started. It matters that you keep evolving. Every book you read, every skill you develop, every lesson you absorb becomes a weapon for the next battle in your life. And here's the beauty of it. Learning is free. It's available to anyone who's humble enough to admit they don't know everything yet. Humility is the secret ingredient. The moment you think you've seen it all, you stop growing. The truly wise never stop asking questions. They observe. They study. They stay curious because they understand something simple. If you keep learning, you'll always have an edge. You don't have to go back to school to learn. Life itself is the greatest classroom. Every person you meet can teach you something. Every mistake holds a lesson. Every challenge carries a hidden skill waiting to be unlocked. The key is to approach life with open eyes and an open mind. There's a saying, if you rest, you rust. And it's true. The brain works like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. But the moment you stop stretching it, it starts to weaken. So stretch your mind daily. Learn something that challenges your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to look foolish or inexperienced. That's how everyone starts. The only true failure is refusing to try. When you commit to lifelong learning, you never really grow old, you just grow wiser. And wisdom gives you something age never can. Vision. You start seeing life through a broader lens. You connect dots others miss. You anticipate instead of react. That's the power of a trained, curious mind. So if you want to stay young, don't chase youth. Chase growth. Keep feeding your curiosity. Read, listen, ask, explore. Learn new skills. Not because you have to, but because you get to. Because the more you learn, the more capable you become of living fully. Stay teachable. Stay curious. Keep learning faster than you age. Because a growing mind will always outlast a slowing body. And that's how you stay ahead. Not just in life, but in spirit. Number 7, surround yourself with builders, not doubters. You become like the people you spend the most time with. Whether you realize it or not, energy is contagious. Attitudes are contagious. Mindsets are contagious. You can't fly like an eagle if you spend your life walking with chickens. If you want to grow, you have to surround yourself with people who build, not those who doubt. The truth is, some people will never see what you see because they've trained their minds to expect failure. They live in a world of limitation, not possibility. And if you stay around them long enough, you'll start to believe those same limits. That's why your environment matters so much. It can either pull you down or lift you higher. Builders are different. They see opportunity where others see obstacles. They encourage you when life gets heavy. They challenge you when you start settling. They don't compete with you. They push you to win. When you have builders in your circle, that energy makes you rise to a higher standard. They remind you that improvement never stops, that greatness requires patience and that belief is fuel. But let's be honest, it's not always easy to find builders. The world is full of doubters. Doubters love comfort. They love talking about what can't be done. They find reasons to stay where they are instead of reasons to move forward. And if you're not careful, you'll start lowering your energy to match theirs. You must protect your environment like your life depends on it. Because in many ways it does. Your mindset, your motivation, even your momentum can all be destroyed by the wrong company. Some people don't have to do anything to slow you down. They just have to be around you with the wrong energy. When you're around doubters, every dream starts to feel impossible. But when you're around builders, every dream starts to feel necessary. That's the difference. Builders remind you who you can become. They don't talk about problems, they talk about solutions. They don't envy success, they study it. And they don't laugh at your ambition, they match it. If you want to see where your life is heading, look closely at who's around you. Your circle is either your ceiling or your springboard. Are you surrounded by people who drain you or people who challenge you? Are you having conversations about other people or conversations about ideas, growth and progress? The difference between average and extraordinary often comes down to the company you keep. And remember this, being alone for a while is better than being surrounded by the wrong people forever. Sometimes you have to walk alone until you find the ones who are walking your way. Don't settle for being understood by those who aren't growing. Seek those who see your potential even when you don't. Your environment sets your energy, and your energy sets your results. Choose wisely. Spend time with doers, thinkers, and dreamers. Build relationships that stretch you, not shrink you. Because when you surround yourself with builders, you stop just surviving. You start building too. You begin to believe again. You begin to move again. And that belief, that momentum, that shared fire, it can change the entire direction of your life. Stay close to the builders. They're the ones who remind you that your potential is still under construction. And that's a beautiful thing. Number 8, be consistent when no one claps. Everyone loves the spotlight, but the truth is the real work happens in the dark. Success is not built on applause. It's built on consistency. The world may only see your results, but you know the hours, the silence, the early mornings, and the quiet nights that came before. What separates the average from the extraordinary is not talent, luck, or timing. It's the ability to keep showing up even when no one's watching. When you start something new, excitement carries you. People notice your energy, they cheer for you, they applaud your effort. But soon the noise fades, the attention disappears, and that's the moment that reveals who you really are. Because when there's no audience, no recognition, and no reward, that's when consistency is tested. That's when you find out whether you were driven by validation or by purpose. You can't depend on applause to keep you moving. Applause fades, discipline lasts. Every great story has a long stretch of silence in it. The chapter where no one cared, no one noticed, and nothing seemed to change. But that's the chapter that built the strength for everything that came after. Growth doesn't happen in the spotlight. It happens in the shadows where you refuse to quit. Think about it. The athlete training before sunrise, the writer facing a blank page, the business owner who keeps pushing when no one's buying. These people aren't chasing recognition, they're chasing excellence. They've learned that results show up after repetition, not after attention. And that's the mindset you need if you want to build something lasting. Consistency is what builds trust in yourself. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, even when no one's watching, you build inner confidence. You start to believe in your word again. You stop relying on motivation and start moving with momentum. That's what separates the doers from the dreamers. Doing it again and again, long after the motivation fades. Most people quit too soon. They get discouraged when progress feels invisible. But consistency is like planting seeds. You don't see anything above the ground for a while. But that doesn't mean nothing's happening. Growth is taking place beneath the surface quietly, steadily, unshakably. The ones who keep watering their effort, even in silence, are the ones who eventually see the harvest. So don't be afraid of the quiet seasons. They're not punishment. They're preparation. They're where you build strength, discipline, and patience. Anyone can perform when the crowd is cheering, but real champions perform when the room is empty. That's where mastery is born. Don't let silence discourage you. Let it sharpen you. Keep showing up, keep doing the work, keep putting in the hours, even when no one claps. Because one day those same people will ask how you did it, and you'll know the answer. You didn't need applause to stay consistent, you needed a reason. So find your reason and hold on to it. Let your consistency be your signature. Let your effort speak louder than your words. Because when you stay faithful to the process long before anyone notices, that's when greatness begins to notice you. Number 9, transform pain into power. Pain changes people, but how it changes you is up to you. It can break you down, or it can build you up. It can make you bitter, or it can make you bold. Every person you admire today has walked through some kind of pain. They've been knocked down, ignored, doubted, rejected, or left behind. The difference is they didn't let that pain define them. They turned it into power. Pain is life's most honest teacher. It doesn't lie to you. It doesn't flatter you. It forces you to see the truth. It shows you what matters and what doesn't. It strips away the excuses and reveals what you're really made of. Pain will test your patience, your faith, and your character. But if you face it head on, it will also teach you strength, resilience, and purpose. You see, everyone wants to grow, but no one wants to be uncomfortable. Yet, discomfort is the birthplace of growth. Every lesson worth learning comes with some level of struggle. That's how life molds you. You don't become strong in comfort. You become strong when you're forced to rise above your challenges. When life hurts, it's not trying to destroy you, it's trying to awaken you. Pain is a signal that something must change. It pushes you to act, to move, to rebuild. Some of your greatest ideas, your biggest decisions, and your most powerful transformations will come after seasons of pain. The question isn't why me, but what is this trying to teach me? When you change that question, you change your life. Because pain has two paths, suffering or strength. If you focus on what you lost, you suffer. But if you focus on what you gain, wisdom, clarity, hunger, perspective, you grow stronger than before. That's how pain becomes power. The truth is, you can't avoid pain. No one can. But you can choose how you respond to it. You can let it stop you, or you can let it shape you. Some people get wounded and stay wounded forever. Others get wounded and come back with a story, a mission, a message that changes lives. The wound doesn't define you. What you build from it does. You've got to learn how to use the fire instead of being burned by it. Take the hurt, take the disappointment, take the heartbreak, and build something out of it. Channel it into your craft, your discipline, your drive. Let it be the reason you work harder, not the reason you give up. Because one day that same pain will become your strength, and that strength will become your story. And here's the truth. When you overcome pain, you earn something far greater than comfort. You earn perspective. You become unshakable. The things that once broke you no longer have power over you. You stop fearing hardship because you've already faced it and survived. So whatever pain you're carrying right now, use it. Don't hide from it. Don't let it turn into bitterness. Let it fuel your growth. Let it remind you that you're still here, still capable, still fighting. Because if you can turn pain into purpose, you can turn any moment into momentum. That's what power really is. The strength to rise from what tried to destroy you and use it to build something greater than before. Number 10, stay humble, stay hungry. The moment you think you've made it, you start to fall. Success is not a destination, it's a moving target. The second you stop chasing growth, you begin to decline. Staying humble keeps you grounded. Staying hungry keeps you moving. Together they form the balance every achiever needs to last. Humility doesn't mean thinking less of yourself. It means knowing there's always more to learn. It means remembering that no matter how much you've done, there's still more you can do. The greatest people in any field, business, art, sports, leadership, all have one thing in common. They never act like they've arrived. They stay students, not masters. Because the moment you believe you know it all, life will remind you how much you don't. You've got to understand success can be dangerous if it makes you comfortable. Comfort breeds complacency, and complacency kills potential. Hunger, on the other hand, keeps you alive. It keeps you reaching for that next level, refining your craft, improving your discipline. When you're hungry for growth, every day is another opportunity to get better. And here's the truth, humble people last longer. The loud ones make noise for a season, but the grounded ones build empires quietly over decades. When you stay humble, you keep your focus where it belongs, on the work, not the praise. You stop chasing recognition and start chasing mastery. And when you chase mastery, recognition eventually finds you anyway. Staying hungry doesn't mean you're never satisfied. It means you're grateful, but never done. You celebrate progress, but you know there's still room to grow. You're proud of how far you've come, but you're not blinded by it. That balanced gratitude with ambition is what keeps you moving forward without losing yourself along the way. You've probably seen it before. People who reach some success and then start slowing down. They lose the fire that got them there. They stop doing the little things that built their foundation. They forget the discipline that made them strong. And before they know it, their edge is gone. That's why you can never stop being a student of your craft. The moment you stop learning, you start losing. The truly great ones never stop hungering for improvement. They don't compete with others. They compete with who they were yesterday. Every day they wake up asking, how can I grow today? How can I do this better? That mindset keeps them sharp long after the crowd has forgotten their names. And humility, it's what keeps your feet on the ground while your dreams reach higher. It keeps your ego quiet when success tries to make it loud. It reminds you that every victory you've had came not just from talent, but from effort, from persistence, and from people who helped along the way. So stay humble enough to listen, but hungry enough to act. Stay grateful for what you have, but ambitious enough to want more. Don't let success make you lazy, and don't let progress make you proud. The goal isn't just to rise high, it's to stay strong once you do. Because real greatness isn't about one victory. It's about staying consistent, grounded, and driven long after the applause fades. That's what it means to stay humble and stay hungry. Number 11. Build character before you build success. Success built on weak character never lasts. You can build wealth, fame, and reputation, but if you don't build integrity along the way, it all eventually collapses. The world teaches people to chase results. But what truly matters is who you become while chasing them. Because success can make you rich, but character makes you valuable. Character is what you do when no one's watching. It's how you treat people who can't do anything for you. It's how you handle failure, pressure, and temptation. You can fake charm. You can fake confidence, but you can't fake character. It reveals itself in time. Every choice you make, every word you speak, every promise you keep or break, builds or breaks that foundation. Truth is, success can open doors, but only character keeps them open. People might applaud your achievements, but they will remember your values. They'll remember how you made them feel, how you carried yourself, how you stood by your word, and those things matter far more than titles, trophies, or money. In a world obsessed with speed, character is what slows you down just enough to do the right thing. It reminds you that shortcuts lead to short-lived victories. You can win fast, but if you cheat your way there, you'll spend years repairing the damage. Real success is built on trust, and trust takes time, consistency, and honesty. Character isn't built in comfort, it's built in challenges. It's forged in the moments when doing the right thing costs you something. When it's easier to lie, easier to quit, easier to pretend, but you don't. That's when your inner strength is tested. Every time you choose integrity over convenience, your character grows stronger, and that strength will carry you through storms that would destroy others. You see, your skills might get you to the top, but only your character will keep you there. Talent is a gift, but integrity is a choice. And that choice has to be made every day. When you have character, you don't have to chase success. Success finds you because people trust those who are honest, consistent, and disciplined. Think about it. The people you admire most aren't just successful, they're solid. They stand for something. Their word means something. They've built reputations that time can't erase. That's what you should aim for. Not temporary applause, but permanent respect. Character also gives you peace. You can sleep at night knowing you didn't cut corners, you didn't hurt others to get ahead, and you didn't sell your soul for a win. That peace of mind is worth more than any paycheck. Because when everything else fades, the job, the money, the fame, your character stays with you. So before you chase success, build yourself. Build discipline, honesty, patience, and respect. Build a foundation that can hold the weight of your future. Because success without character is like a building without structure. It might look impressive for a while, but it's one strong wind away from falling. When you focus on becoming a person of integrity, success becomes a byproduct. It follows you because people can trust you. And trust, once earned, is the strongest currency there is. So remember this: Don't just work hard to make a living, work hard to build a life of value. Build your character first, and everything else will eventually fall into place. Number 12. Leave footprints that outlast you. At the end of it all, success isn't just about what you achieve. It's about what you leave behind. The titles, the possessions, the numbers in your account, they fade. But the impact you make, the lives you touch, and the lessons you leave, those are the things that outlive you. Real success isn't measured by applause today. It's measured by the footprints that remain long after you're gone. Every day, whether you realize it or not, you're leaving footprints with your words, your actions, your attitude. You're influencing people around you. The question is, what kind of mark are you leaving? Is it one of inspiration, kindness, and strength? Or one of doubt, bitterness, and regret? Because one day, people will remember not what you had, but who you were. The truth is, legacy isn't something you leave at the end of your life. It's something you build every single day. Every act of discipline, every moment of integrity, every time you choose to do the right thing, that's legacy in motion. You're shaping it with every small decision. Legacy doesn't start when you're gone. It starts when you decide that your life will stand for something greater than yourself. You don't need fame or fortune to leave an impact. You just need purpose. You just need to care enough to make a difference in your home, in your work, in your circle. The smallest act done with heart can echo louder than the biggest speech done for show. A word of encouragement, a lesson passed on, a helping hand when no one's watching. These things last far beyond a lifetime. We live in a world obsessed with moments, but the wise think about meaning. What you do for yourself usually ends with you, but what you do for others lives on. Success is about building something that time can't erase. Values, principles, and memories that continue to inspire when your name is no longer spoken daily. Leaving a legacy doesn't mean being perfect. It means living with intention. It means facing your failures with honesty, your victories with humility, and your life with gratitude. It means using what you've learned to help others climb higher, walk straighter, and believe stronger. The truth is, life goes by faster than we realize. One day, all that will remain are the ripples we created, the people we helped, the kindness we gave, the examples we set. So don't just chase success for yourself. Build something others can stand on. Teach, guide, serve, and give back, because that's what it really means to succeed. And here's the beauty. When you live this way, your legacy doesn't wait for the end. It lives with you. It shows in the respect you earn, the trust you build, and the inspiration you spark in others. You become a walking reminder that greatness isn't about how high you climbed, but how many you helped lift. So make this your mission to live in such a way that when your time here ends, people will say, "Because of you, I didn't give up." That's the ultimate success. Not trophies, not fame, but influence. Build your life so strong that your footprints guide others long after you're gone. That's how you live forever, through the lives you've touched and the good you've done. Success has no age. It only has action. Life doesn't reward the youngest or the oldest. It rewards the most consistent, the most determined, the ones who refuse to stop building. No matter where you are in life, no matter how many mistakes you've made or how much time you think you've lost, you still have enough days left to create something extraordinary. The key is to use them wisely. You've learned by now that success isn't luck, timing, or youth. It's built daily through discipline, character, patience, and effort. You grow when you take responsibility. You rise when you stop comparing. You change when you stop waiting for the right moment and start creating it. Every sunrise brings you another chance to shape your future. The question is, will you take it or will you let it pass? Stop worrying about how much time has gone by. Start focusing on what you can still do with the time you have. Every step you take toward improvement matters, no matter how small it feels today. Success is not one grand moment. It's a quiet accumulation of thousands of small victories that no one claps for. Those invisible moments are where greatness is built. And remember, success without character is hollow, and growth without gratitude is empty. Stay humble enough to keep learning, hungry enough to keep striving, and wise enough to keep giving back. Because at the end of the day, success isn't just about reaching your goals. It's about becoming someone worth remembering. So, wherever you are right now, start building. Build your habits, build your mindset, build your discipline, and build your heart. Keep constructing the best version of yourself, one choice, one lesson, one day at a time. Because no matter your age, your season, or your circumstances, you are not done yet. You're still capable, still strong, and still full of potential. Success has no age, but it does have a builder, and that builder is you.